Okay, in this next installment of Advanced Rune Shamanism, we're now just going to move into looking at the interpretations of the runes on the Rune Wheel in terms of how each of the realms is counterbalanced with each other. So when you're looking at runes and everything's coming up negative, and I mean, a lot of times people will just simply say, "Oh, this is bad. Be careful," and just give out negative indications. You really can't do anything with that. That's kind of a waste of time. So we really need to find ways to remedy situations. So the thing about the rune wizard isn't that he's just simply looking off into the future and such is going to happen. We already talked about that. The future has not happened yet. It's only a probability. Now, it may be a virtually inescapable probability, but nevertheless, it's just a probability. So we want to be proactive about that. Some things are difficult or impossible to escape, but some things we have choices over and we can change. So when a rune comes up like that and it's debilitated, I believe that we should take proactive action to become conscious and aware and change our orlog, change our weird, so that we can get the most out of this life. And again, the idea is that the future is a probability, and what we want to do is we want to dial in the perfect future that the most perfect future that we possibly can. And so we're going to use the Rune Wheel as a way to do that. So let's go through that, starting with Niflheim. So as we know, that Niflheim is the realm of the nourishing waters. So let's start there. So what happens, you've got Niflheim is directly counterbalanced by Muspelheim, which is the fire world, right? So these two runes counterbalance each other. Now, again, this only really works when you have runes that can be reversed. If a rune can't be reversed, you can see what the counterbalance is, but the dynamic isn't exactly the same. Now, these two can be reversed. So with Fehu becomes reversed. The way we counterbalance that is with Raidho. So what does that mean? It means that Fehu reversed can mean multiple things, but let's just take it at face value. And let's say it's reversed, and we find out that according to this rune reading, that Fehu is debilitated, meaning a lack of finances or a loss of finances. Then what we want to do is, if we can't just simply throw money at the problem, because if you don't have money, you can't get money, and you're in this cycle. So we have to look at the counterbalance, which is Raidho here in Muspelheim. And as we talked about, Raidho means following the right thing, doing the right thing, following what you know to be your right plan of action. So in my experience, lots of times, a lack of finances many times will indicate that the individual is not following their right path. Now, this can be an issue because sometimes following your right path may not look like a very good idea financially. There may seem like, having that certain job or, is what you're supposed to do because that's where the money is and all that kind of stuff. And so you may feel some hesitancy to do what you believe the right thing to do is. So let's say, for example, here's what I'm doing here right now. This work that I'm doing here is my right path. This is what I'm here to do. One of the things that I've been brought here to do on this planet. And so, there's not necessarily a whole lot of money in it. So I could get all caught up and, and I need to go work, wherever it is, and do such and such job and not spend time doing this. Well, that has been my experience, that when I do that, my finances get even worse. So I have to follow what I know my true path is, and I'm doing it. So when I do that, I'm trusting. So this is an interesting combination when, in order for finances to come, right, if you're following what you know you're supposed to do, and you're not cutting corners, you're not breaking the law, you're not cheating yourself or other people, which is what this really has to do with, then you're opening yourself up to receive resources from the universe to take care of you. So that's the first one, Fehu and Raidho. So that's if Fehu is reversed. Now, what happens if in the reading it comes up that Raidho is reversed? If Raidho is reversed, then once again, the opposite is Fehu. Fehu is resources. So if Raidho comes up reversed, it means many times that either the individual is cutting corners, is going against their own sense of value. They're breaking the law, they're cheating, they're, whatever it is. It could be on multiple levels. It could be, lots of times when Raidho is reversed, I see, somebody's actually breaking the law. So the only reason that we do those kinds of things, break the law, go against what we know to be right and true, is because we're afraid that we're not going to be given the resources that we need. So in order to overcome Raidho, which is following the right path, we first have to trust that we're going to be taken care of. And really, that's the only reason, for the most part, people break the law. They break the law because they think they can't get their resources any other way, so they feel like they have to. So when you start from the understanding that you are going to be taken care of, that you do have a weird, we don't come out of nowhere. Everybody has an orlog, their own origin law. They have a path that they have been programmed for to do, which is their highest dharma, their highest destiny. And in order to follow that, you have to believe that this is something that comes from something beyond you, that the gods, the universe, however you want to look at it, has destined you, or that even you yourself, before you were incarnated, made a decision that this is what I'm going to do when I incarnate next time. So all of that means that you believe that there is something beyond you that is at the very least going to support you when you follow that path. So Fehu counterbalancing debilitated Raidho means that you're trusting. You're trusting that the resources are going to come, and you are going to do the right action, follow the right path, regardless of whatever fears you may have. You're going to let go of those. So that's Fehu and Raidho. So the next combination is going to be